Ecuadorian President Rafael Correa this Saturday accused the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency of being involved in opposition protests in the country, with the aim of dragging it into chaos. He also pointed out that the opposition in the country is trying to do everything possible to exhaust the government ahead of the elections, because they know that the Ecuadorian authorities enjoy public support. Correa said that right-wing groups and the CIA were likely involved in the nationwide protest action that took place a few days ago.
Thanks to you, the people of Ecuador, the opposition marches were a complete failure.
The Venezuelan government announced that on Saturday, 2.5 million signatures had been gathered as part of an international campaign of solidarity to reject the U.S. executive order labeling Venezuela a national security threat. The aim is to put together at least 10 million signatures requesting President Barack Obama to derogate his decree. Thousands of Venezuelan students and teachers will stage rallies across the country on Sunday in solidarity with the government of President Nicolas Maduro. The demonstrators will express their rejection to acts by the United States that they consider to be an aggression to the sovereignty of the South American country. They will also call on President Barack Obama to reconsider his executive order, declaring Venezuela an extraordinary threat to its national security. These actions have been widely rejected by the different social sectors of the country, as well as by a large number of international entities. Bolivian President Evo Morales will deliver a speech at the upcoming People's Summit parallel to the Summit of the Americas, which will include Cuba for the first time. Both events will be held in Panama City April 10th and 11th, when government and social movement leaders from across the continent will meet to discuss the region's current geopolitical landscape. In his address, the Bolivian head of state is expected to discuss the current aggressions being carried out against the Venezuelan government. The U.S. blockade on Cuba and Washington's aggressions against Venezuela are also expected to take center stage during the regional presidential meeting. Thousands of Salvadorans began a series of events to express their loyalty and faith in the late Archbishop Oscar Romero. On Saturday, people carried banners and lit candles ahead of the 35th anniversary of his assassination by a right-wing death squad on March 24, 1980. The Vatican declared Romero a martyr and set March 23rd as the date for his beatification. Romero was a strong advocate against poverty and consistently called on the military to end their repressive actions against innocent civilians. He was murdered by a right-wing death squad while celebrating Mass, and to date nobody has been tried for the crime. "70 hectares of the International Protected Park in the southern Chilean region of Araucanía have been destroyed by fierce fires in what is now considered to be a major ecological catastrophe. The blazes have also consumed 3,700 hectares of the natural reserve zone of China Life. Ancient trees and species were destroyed by the fire as hundreds of firefighters struggled to contain flames that are threatening to spread into 11,000 more hectares of vegetation. Officials said there are still 26 active fires affecting wildlife preserves in the region.
Al momento, se registran 26 incendios.
Right now, there are 26 active fires in the rivers and lakes of the Biobío southern Chilean region, affecting an area of approximately 9,800 hectares.
Over 6 million Andalusian voters are expected to cast their ballots in a vote in one of Spain's largest regions. 1/5 of the national electorate will for the first time be able to choose between upstart left-wing Podemos and center-left Ciudadanos and established parties. Spain is going through a profound economic and political crisis that has exposed the weaknesses of the country's two-party system. The Andalusian vote will also serve as a catalyst ahead of general elections scheduled for the end of this year. In France, millions of people are also participating this Sunday in local elections. The anti-immigration and far-right National Front believes it will continue to benefit from the population's disenchantment with established politicians. Polls suggest voters were unexcited about the election for councillors with limited powers in the départements, one stratum of France's complex local administration, which President François Hollande has promised to overhaul. The National Front wants to return to the French franc and carry out a referendum on capital punishment. Fearing defeat, Hollande, his ministers, and their mainstream conservative rivals have all been touring the country with last-minute appeals to voters.
It's not a question of blocking such or such party. If the parties are represented, it's because they are authorized. So it's not a question of blocking such and such.
The death toll from Friday's suicide bombings of 2 mosques in Yemen's capital Sana'a rose to 137 on Saturday, while at least 350 have been reported wounded. On Friday, suicide bombers detonated explosives at 2 mosques controlled by the Shiite Houthi group. An unidentified security official said most of the victims were supporters of the Houthi group. These bombings are the second attack in Sana'a this year, following an al-Qaeda car bomb at the police academy that killed at least 50 cadets on January 7.
The Secretary General strongly condemns the terrorist attacks on 2 mosques during Friday prayers in Sana'a, as well as on a government building and mosque in Sada, which have killed and wounded dozens of people. He deplores the killing of civilians and extends his condolences to the families of the victims.
Facts that have marked the course of history. Productions designed in the English language and made for the English-speaking world. This is Documentary. Watch it on telesur.net/English. teleSUR, wherever the news, you'll be there.